Hey there YouTube, welcome to Big Mike Beard Wisdom. So, real quick, I want to talk about like mosquito kind of prevention stuff. So, I picked up a couple of these outdoor citronella candles. So, they're kind of neat, it says burns up to 50 hours. This was about, I think, $5 at Walmart. So, it's been doing pretty well, but with the light breeze that we've had, it's actually been blowing these candles out. So kind of interesting checking this out. These are pretty simple. You just kind of set them somewhere, light them, and then you can kind of see this one here, active ingredients, the citronella oil. Smells pretty decent. And then with it being just a simple citronella candle, there's no real instructions. It doesn't really say, you know, space this far out or something like that. It does say, you know, have it about 3 feet away from people, 1.5 feet away from anything that's combustible and stuff. So but there isn't anything that says, you know, if you've got a 30-foot patio or something like that, space every 10 feet or something like that. So I also picked up this Mosquito Repelling Coils. So this will be kind of cool. So I've never dealt with these before. So this one, each coil burns to 5 to 7 hours. So whereas this candle will go for theoretically 50, I don't know if it'll actually go that long because this keeps blowing out. But this one hopefully winds up running about that long. Should be kind of cool because it has that little terracotta pot kind of thing that it's in. So that ought to help hopefully reduce any kind of wind from hitting it. So you can see, you kind of open it up. There should be 2 coils together. Separate the coils, then you light one end of the coil, place the coil on the burner, and let the coil go to work. And then you can see here, it says, so remove 1 comma-shaped coil from the enclosed protective wrapping. Light the outer edge of the comma coil until glowing. Blow out the flame. Do not touch the glowing end. Place the comma-shaped coil onto the stem of the base of the mosquito coil burner. Lightly twist the coil so the stem fits into the slot of the center of the coil. Place the lid back on the mosquito coil burner. Place the mosquito coil burner in an area away from children. Use 4 mosquito coils per 100 feet or 100 square feet. So 100 square feet, 10 by 10. So kind of like from that corner there to that corner there to this corner here to that corner there. So not a very large area. It says place additional mosquito coil burners 10 feet apart around area to be protected. So that kind of makes sense. If this covers like 100 square feet, it's 10 feet by 10 feet. So you figure 10 feet by 10 feet square or a little bit larger circle. And then place another one probably about there if you're looking at protecting from, say, the garage door to the main door. It says for best results, do not use in windy areas. So again, this is just such a light breeze today, but it keeps blowing out some of these guys. So hopefully this one winds up burning a little bit better. It says coil burns 5 to 7 hours in still air. So I would assume if it winds up being a little bit more breezy, then it's going to wind up getting more air into it and then burning it faster. And it says if shorter periods of use are desired, break coil in appropriate lengths and place in burner on raised surfaces. So my thought process was to essentially, we'll be doing something later in the month to kind of get this burned down a little bit. That way it hopefully has like little like divots in there. And then hopefully the air that passes over it'll affect it less because it'll be higher up compared to the location of the wick. Then for precautionary stuff, first aid has if it's inhaled. And then next, it's got, you know, so harmful if inhaled, avoid breathing smoke, wash thoroughly with soap and water after handling before eating, drinking, chewing gum, using tobacco, or using the toilet. Ooh. I can't say that using the toilet's always on stuff, but that's definitely a fun one. Everything was packaged pretty good, so it was in a little bit of bubble wrap. So there's the bottom of the terracotta pot. It's got a little metal spike there. There's the top. Fits in nice and easy. Not the best looking edges, but I mean, it's like terracotta, so. On the actual coils themselves, the bag has more instructions. Or maybe the same amount of instructions and stuff. So, remember when Zika was the virus we all worried about? So, anyways, there's 4 coils in here, so more than likely, if they're not all kind of self-wrapped and stuff, I'll be putting this in a Ziploc baggie, because I want to just kind of burn through one to see how it does, and then see, you know, hey, how long did it last, and how's it smell and stuff. Alright, and then of course, it looks like I kind of tore it right where I probably shouldn't have. So, it shows separating the coils, lighting the coil, coil burning, and then coil on a stand. So when I open it up, there's these little stands in here. So probably similar to that, but I'll probably still wind up using these. And then here's the actual coils themselves. Whew, my allergies are kicking up today. Hope it's not the citronella candle. You went out again! Come on, dumb hand. There we go. But, so it said 4 coils. I opened it up, I'm like, there's like 2 wafers in here. So when they say separate the coils, they must mean separate this one from the next one. So we'll go ahead and get those popped apart. Alright, so that's separated pretty easily. And then I just took this metal piece here, pushed that center up, that way it stood up. Which looks like it's probably similar to that one over there, just you don't have the height. So if you were to burn it kind of like that, that's kind of how it would sit. And I would definitely see why you wouldn't want to do it on a windy day, because that is not the most stable. Oh, come on, all 3 are out now. And it is not that windy of a day, so that little branch right there is pretty weak. You can see it's just barely moving in the wind. The leaves above it, not really moving at all. So this guy's just hindered by his own weight of leaves. These guys aren't moving at all. Those guys aren't moving. So a little bit of breeze messes with this a lot. Now that I got that just kind of chilling right there, I'm gonna go ahead and try and light just the end of the coil. You can see that just caught on fire. And then it says to blow it out once it's glowing like that. So that's blowed out, blown out. You can see still kind of glowing. And I'm just gonna set it in here. Hope I didn't just put it out by touching the end of the terracotta. Alright, so that's in place. Looks like it's still going. So, just a little wispy smoky. We'll put the lid on. So just see a little bit of the wisps going. And time is 9:05. See how it goes in a couple hours. So smell wise, I don't know, smells like something burning. So it's not like it's got like a scent thing, so it doesn't smell like, say, the citronella candle. It doesn't smell like lavender or anything like that. It just kind of has a smoky smell. So real quick, let's take a quick peek at it. So it looks like as it burns, it's been kind of like curling under. Whew. Yep, that definitely smells a lot more smoky now that I took that off. I guess it's got maybe like a little bit of like a burned wood smell. So in almost 20 minutes, that's burned that end off. And I also picked up 2, like I guess refills or something like that. So this is 4 more coils a piece. So these are pretty cheap too. Also got these at Walmart. Alright, so I put the 2 remaining coils in here. So back in their original plastic, just in case it disagrees somehow with the Ziploc baggie, and that little holder there, back in there. And you might be like, well, wasn't there an additional one? Yes, there was. So I can't resist a good experiment. So what we're going to do is, I've got the terracotta thing over there. I've got the citronella candle working away over there. And then I'm going to try and light this sucker right inside of here. So this is just the wheelbarrow that I have. And it's just to kind of see how this winds up lasting. Maybe on its own like this. And I'd be curious with the lawn, or the echo from the wheelbarrow is kind of funny. So with this being in the wheelbarrow, if this will still smoke and spread properly, and maybe try and keep mosquitoes away. So if later on, if I come walking around the garage and there's no mosquitoes, and then all of a sudden I'm like, holy crap, there's mosquitoes, and then no mosquitoes, then I know having it in this wheelbarrow limits the amount of the smoke can spread around and causes an issue. So you probably may want to have it on like a flat surface that allows airflow around it. This being down in here, I kind of think it'll help protect it from the wind a little bit. But as you can kind of see from the trajectory of the smoke, there's probably still a little bit of wind affecting it. Alright, so a little over an hour in, this is burning up. I wish I kind of remembered where exactly in terms of that little point this was. That way you knew, okay, cool, it burned from there to there. But, I mean, it's going. And then that, of course, will be the same thing for this one. Because with how the coils ran, it's probably not equal. So, I wonder if this coil was maybe to here. So, essentially, we've burned a quarter of that first really long coil in an hour. Which then you would think we've got, you know, maybe another hour. 2 hours would probably put you about over here. 3 might be all the way to there. And then who knows where we land in the middle. But I've been using the time to mow and kind of like clean up yard work and stuff. And there's still plenty of little mosquitoes hanging out in the area when you're close over here. So I don't know if it just kind of puts them to bed so they lay down, and then when you walk through you kick them up. I was zipping around with the weed whacker and kind of noticed that flame went out. Well, the smoke went out, and it was just one of those things. There's a little bit like a scorch mark over here. That was right where this one was sitting. So that was sitting right there. I don't know if it was something where, you know, blade of grass or something got in there, maybe touched it, caught fire or something like that. But you could kind of see a little bit of heat and stuff like that up at the top too. So whatever it is that happened, I'm not 100% sure, but that one went out. This one's still going strong. It's 11:31. So you can see this one's, I think this one went maybe from there all the way to over there in that hour. So one cool thing that I didn't think about was that if you do have it in a wheelbarrow or other mobile source, you can move it around to the yard wherever you need it. That way, if you're all done, say, mowing the lawn, and then you're sitting down to like a nice fire or something like that, you just cart it on over. So it's about 1:12. That puts us at 4 hours ish in total. So this guy was started a little bit after, so a little bit later than the other ones. You can see here the citronella candle burned down pretty good. So all the divots that I was hoping it would make didn't really make the divots. I don't know if some of it's because it was in the sunlight, that maybe that helped keep the whole thing heated up. That way the whole thing just kind of sank down even. So a little bummed by that, but you know, this kept running. It's still running. So I did have 1 or 2 pop off so the flame blew out a couple times. So it's just kind of one of those things. This one was about the same thing. So this one I thought was going to be the... Wow, that's hot. So not crazy hot, but just hotter than you would expect when you grab that. So it might just be the terracotta in the sunlight. It might be because you've got this burning ember thing down there. So this one, when it died up over there, you know, that was kind of a bummer. But since then, it's worked all the way over here. So, you know, seems to work pretty decent. That one has stayed lit the entire time. So that kind of leads me to think that the simple way like that is maybe the way to go. Plus, the smoke output just seems way higher than this one. So this one seems like it lasts longer, but there's less smoke. And I'm willing to bet it's the smoke that really keeps things away. So the higher output of that one, probably the better off you are. So 4 hours in, it definitely probably has about an hour or so left, I would assume. So definitely doing pretty good. And I mean, for me, that's kind of the winner. The Citronella candle, the Citronella candle is kind of hard to beat price point wise, because inevitably I don't know how well these really worked. You know, it seemed like they probably worked okay, you know, but they're not going to be a magic bullet. You're still going to have mosquitoes around. So it's just going to be one of those things. But maybe they reduce it a little bit more. Now, the one thing that I do kind of like was the idea of putting a wheelbarrow, because then you've got a mobile, wherever you need it, anti-mosquito location. So, you know, if you've got even like a rolling tray or something like that, so if you got a really big deck and you're going to be sitting on the one side, but you're going to barbecue on the other, then you kind of drag it over with you when you're barbecuing, then bring it back over to your seat when you're, you know, just sitting there chilling. So, but I would definitely say, for me, price point wise, Citronella candle probably won, because that definitely has a ton more time on it. These guys, not as much time. And really, even if you were to burn all four, it would still be, I think, cheaper for that than the refills for that. Then to answer the question of how hot is it, 129 degrees, that's how hot it is. How about the candle? Well, the candle's hotter. 190. Let's see what the side of it is. So the tin is 132. Let's see if we can hit that little ember. I think 154 was the highest I got. Hot enough. How hot's the... So just metal in the sun is 135. And the terracotta is 128. Yep. The metal's every bit that hot. Alright, so almost 2 o'clock. So just about 5 hours in. That one's pretty toasted. This one still surprisingly warm, hot. Still plenty going, but I'm pretty sure this slows down like the rate at which that burns, whereas that being out in just air burns faster. So I think to a degree it slows down a little bit in here, but also when that one burned out there, I don't know how long it was burned out for. I would assume at least 30 minutes. So you figure maybe to there would be about 30 minutes on there, which puts it at a little bit less than that one. But all in all, you know, that one definitely made it to 5 hours. Probably not going to make it to 7. This one might be making it to 7. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to like and subscribe. I'll check you next time.